7 News at 10 begins with breaking news. The Hyde Park fire exploding in size, leading to thousands of evacuations. Now, this is a live picture from Ted's place, actually inside the evacuation zone. You can clearly see the glow of the fire tonight.
Right now, the fire zone, more like a war zone. Don't adjust your TV. That orange glow is what it looks like near Fort Collins. One person still missing, and right now we are learning the fire has nearly tripled in size today alone. Within the last 2 hours, fire officials announcing more than 20,000 acres burned. And here's a map of the exact burn area. Buckhorn Road is on the southern border, and right now the fire is burning just south of Highway 14 to the north. And tonight, 7 News with live team coverage. We're live on the fire lines and have the latest on the hundreds of evacuees.
We start with 7 News reporter Mark Stewart at the fire command post. And Mark, the conditions and the lack of resources are making the fight against this fire incredibly difficult.
And Mike, as we come on the air, we are still dealing with some very intense wind gusts. Tonight, we have learned that this fire is creeping even closer to Fort Collins, just a few miles from one of the borders. It's also erupting from 4 separate locations, and now acknowledgement that this whole situation is still out of control. Now, at 20,000 acres, the Hyde Park fire explodes on the northern Colorado mountains for a second night. Growing by the hour, it's destroying property and creating a backdrop that looks like Mars. Even wildfire veterans aren't sure what to do next.
It is so out of control. Developing a plan is very difficult until we get the resources here.
Resources that could start arriving once the feds take over on Monday. Wind is one of the biggest obstacles, pushing the smoke and the flames to the west and every other direction. Firefighters say the flames are so intense, it's burning green grass. Power lines are falling. Some spots are burning twice. An attack by nature that the sheriff feels personally.
It's tough. It's tough.
Tough for the sheriff and the people he serves.
This makes me very sad to see something as horrible as this happening in somewhere where I live. I hope and pray that it gets better instead of worse.
Nothing about this fire is typical. Usually at night, the temperature drops, the humidity rises, but so far that's not happening, making this fire an even tougher battle to fight. Live in Larimer County tonight, Mark Stewart, 7 News.
And this is what many residents are facing as they evacuate their homes. We found this on YouTube. The woman who posted it says her husband shot the video as they evacuated the family cabin yesterday. You can see the flames moving over the hill toward them. The couple is pretty sure that cabin is among the more than 18 structures hit by fire. More than 2,500 notifications have been sent out to evacuate people since yesterday, and that number is not the number of homes, the total number of phone lines. And this is a map of the evacuation zone. All the homes in the area in yellow have been warned to evacuate, although fire officials tell us some people are still choosing to stay in their homes. The area in orange is where the Hyde Park fire has already burned. For the past 2 days, the Cache Laputer Middle School has been the evacuation center. We have now learned it is being moved. 7 News reporter Jacqueline Allen is live. And Jacqueline, the air quality there is forcing the closure.
They announced that just in the last hour, Mike. It smells like a campfire here, and as we've been telling you throughout the day, we've actually seen ash in the air, so obviously that's cause for concern. The fire is pretty close to this area. It's not considered safe anymore, so right now the Red Cross is packing up and moving out, evacuating these evacuees once again.
We've lived there 43 years, and we've gone through some fires, but nothing like this.
Before Sandra Mullen saw the fire surrounding her home in Poudre Park, she heard it.
It was terrible. It was like a hurricane.
That terror felt by so many here at the evacuation center.
The winds are coming from everywhere at the same time.
Barely making it out in time.
It just came so fast.
With little to no notification.
This is what's left of my jewelry.
Rosemary Solano left so late she couldn't even go back for a bag dropped on her front porch.
And I realized, no, I cannot get it. The flames were right at the back of my house. As I told my grandkids last night, I get to go get a new wardrobe. I'm not dead is what I was trying to say, and everything else is negotiable.
That sense of relief, a common theme.
I was so thankful that when we got partway down the canyon, finally, I said, I think we're safe. I think we're safe.
But frustration is mounting.
We're allowed to know if it's our home.
People wanting to know about their houses, but answers coming slowly. For Mullen, after 43 years in the same home, it's hard to imagine never going home again.
I think everything will be gone. And you know, when you're My husband's 78 and I'm 75, so when you're that old, it's too hard to start over.
Very emotional here today, and you can see behind me right now Red Cross volunteers loading up this truck with water and all of the mountains of donated supplies here to take those over to the new evacuation center. And we just found out in the last half hour there will be a community briefing tomorrow morning. It's been moved to 8 a.m. instead of 9 a.m. So a community briefing at 8 a.m. at the ranch. That's the new evacuation center. Another chance for neighbors to get answers about their homes and their neighbors. Reporting live, Jacqueline Allen, 7 News.
And you can see
pictures sent into 7 News of the High Park fire, including this YouTube video from Jim Davidson. It was taken at the top of Long's Peak yesterday, and you can see that giant plume in the distance. And my reporter Jennifer Unruh caught this picture while on an airplane this morning. Right outside the window, you can see the giant plume of smoke. They're alarming when you see just how big it is from this view. And the smoke from the fire isn't just being seen in our state. This is what they're seeing in Laramie, Wyoming. Reese Heinrich snapped this picture. One viewer is able to see this fire from Big Springs, Nebraska. That's just across the border near the northeast corner of our state. Gives you an idea just how far this smoke is traveling. Only miles away from the fire, the blaze looks more like a war zone. Thick smoke and ash filling the air. And 7 News photojournalist Major King is live at Ted's place, which is inside a zone now blocked off to traffic. And Major, you've been dealing with blowing smoke and ash since this morning.
It's been kind of hard to see, and this is likely the biggest and likely most devastating wildfire in Larimer County history. And as you head northwest on U.S. Highway 287, you can hardly believe what you see.
Oh my God.
For these residents of LaPorte, watching a steady stream of evacuees pour out of the foothills is not how you want to spend your Sunday. The sun would come and go as the flames kept ever closer to Bellevue before finally day became a surreal twilight at the mouth of Poudre Canyon. Relentless wind caused flames to jump Highway 14 to the north, threatening residents off County Road 29C, while Type 1, then later Type 3 helicopters did their very best to protect structures. As day became night, the moment was not lost on observers at Ted's place.
We saw it yesterday and it was bad, and it's gotten a lot worse. As you guys can see, the ashes are actually like snowflakes right now, and it's hot and windy. We were the last ones in to get up here before they shut the road down. Just praying and hoping that all the firefighters and everybody's okay here.
Mike and Ann, we're looking at a live picture now north of County Road 29C. That's the road that just goes to the north at the cattle guard as you enter Poudre Canyon. McMurray Ranch Road, if you really know the area, it sort of leads up to Bonner Peak. And as you can see, it is still burning. That's mostly grassy area. That's actually part of the Picnic Rock Fire from a while back, so there's not a lot of fuel for that to burn. But as the winds have just kept up tonight and don't seem to be letting up. Reporting live from Highway 287, just north of Ted's place, Major King, 7 News.
Thank you, Major. Take a look at this home video taken just northwest of Old Town Fort Collins this afternoon. My reporter named Brady giving us this 360-degree view of the smoke from the top of his home. As he slowly moves to the east, the smoke starts to get a little bit lighter. And in fact, before long, as he keeps moving that camera, you will see something that a lot of folks saw and saw the contrast. You could see blue skies. Governor John Hickenlooper taking his first tour of the fire area today. If the fire conditions stay as they are, the governor says his office is going to have to make some very tough decisions about tougher fire restrictions in the coming weeks.
The conditions this summer give every indication we're going to be at risk all summer long. And we're going to look, very seriously in the next couple of weeks whether we should ban fireworks this summer, the 4th of July, is this one of those summers where we have to take really extraordinary precautions and try to do everything we can to make sure we limit the possibility of a fire starting? Because once they start, if there's high wind conditions, again, our responses are very limited.